Hello, this is Donna, psychic medium and direct messenger for spirit. The afterlife is actually all around us. The messages from our loved ones, spirit guides, and pieces of our soul are waiting to be heard. If this is your first episode, welcome. I invite you to go back and listen to previous episodes where I link my guest to their loved one or a piece of their soul's existence in the afterlife. Thank you for listening and for sharing. Please consider leaving a review. Enjoy and stay tuned for more. I have a feeling there will be much more from the afterlife. If you are interested in a private reading with me, or if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, see the show notes. We are going to do a soul existence reading for Leslie. And for new listeners, if you haven't listened to any other of my podcasts, what this means is I will immediately either see an image or see a scene, and then I will read that for my guest here, Leslie. And then we'll talk about what that scene means and how that might help her with a challenge or anything that's going on in her life today that may have been happening for years, old drama, old tapes. This could help clear the air. It's almost as if Leslie's soul is waiting in the wings with her hand in the air saying, I'm here, I have something to share with you. They're always powerful. So if this is your first one listening, we invite you to go back and listen to other episodes where I've not only brought through loved ones for my guest, but also soul existence readings for my guest. State out loud, I am open to receive.
I am open to receive.
Great. You can open your eyes now, Leslie. For me, state your first name and the phrase, it's a beautiful day.
Leslie, it's a beautiful day.
The first thing I've noticed is, I'm not going to say the image of what I see yet. I'm just going to say what the interpretation I'm getting is. You are someone that puts themselves out there and puts things out there and then looks and goes, I wonder where that landed. I wonder if anyone heard that. I wonder if anybody received that. Does that make a little bit of sense to you, Leslie? Yes, no, or maybe?
Yes, it absolutely does.
I love that. And this, I don't like to interpret it as male or female, but this piece of your soul is very strong.
Mm-hmm.
This piece of your soul, do you know those carnival games where you use this big mallet and hit the bottom and the thing goes up and you have to try to ring the bell?
Sure.
That's what this piece of your soul has in their hand.
Mm.
They aren't swinging it at the moment. They just have it down on the ground. They're leaning on it. And there's this wide expansion in front of them. So I felt that you've already rang the bell.
Mm.
And now you're out there gazing into beyond existence, the universe, other souls in this world, and not waiting. You're not waiting, but I feel that's a little challenge for you, the waiting piece. That's something you might struggle with in this life. Would that make sense, Leslie?
Possibly. What would I be waiting for?
Let me explain it a little bit more. So I see this piece waiting for something to come back at her. She put it out already, and now she's waiting. Well, if somebody saw it, heard it, read it, sensed it, felt it, why aren't they coming back to me and saying, hey, thanks for that, really needed that? So waiting to me would mean maybe not so patient, maybe thinking, somebody should be telling me something more than they are. This should be reaching more people than it does. Am I getting any closer?
I think in the sense that waiting to receive the messages out there, waiting, yes, thinking, where is the return message? Like the next step, possibly.
Got it. So when I see the wide open expanse, you're viewing it as the universe. Hello, spirit. Hello, universe. Send me an answer.
Right.
I'm going to say again, though, this piece of your soul is very strong. She's not looking at me. She's more looking at the future. She feels patient, but she also feels stuck in that position of waiting. Do you understand?
Yes.
Like, I don't want to do anything else because I might miss what's coming. I don't want to put anything else out there. I don't want to ask any more questions. I want an answer to this one, and I better wait for it.
Yes, I agree. Yes. Before you make the next step, possibly.
So yes, it could be a step. It could be anything you asked. It could be anything. It could be work. It could be relationship. It could be business. It could be anything.
Right.
She's very tall and very strong. I'm going to say that again. Very strong because her clothing is tight fit. And I'm like seeing muscles, and she's been standing for so long. Her legs are strong, and she's been swinging that mallet for so long. Her arms are strong. Do you sometimes feel that, God, I just want to relax a little bit?
Yes. And I am making efforts to do that. Absolutely building it in.
This is a reminder for you.
I agree. Yes.
This woman, this piece of your soul, is older. I want to say 30s, older. It's not late 20s. It's definitely 30s, if anything, late 30s. So that would also appear that maybe at that point in this existence, around that age, that you might have taken that step to do this work, to put more things out there, that your questions may have started with more intensity, where you had to gain more strength, not just in yourself, but in the world of whatever you were asking. Would that make sense?
I'm trying to think back to that time frame in my life, but I mean, it certainly could. There was transition, certainly, at that, you're busy, you're moving, you're new challenges. So that's possible, absolutely.
So you're saying I want to make sure I'm getting this, at that chunk of your time, of that 30s, that there was transition in your life, change in your life. And would you say that you had to really get stronger then, that you had to put your feet more firmly into the ground?
Absolutely, I did. But I felt very strong in doing so.
That's what I'm feeling with this, right? We explained that out here.
Yes.
So now that we've agreed on why she's presenting at this age and how she feels right now, we're going to work on how do we help her relax a little bit.
That sounds like a great idea.
Right? Because she's stuck there. She's stuck there. No good, bad, right, or wrong, but it feels like there's no one around her, like no other support around her. She's not speaking to anybody else in the physical. She's really just looking at the future, which is what you interpreted as spirit asking the questions, the universe, and waiting for that answer. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So we don't want her to hang out like that, right? We don't want that for the rest of our time here, correct?
Right. I think that being able to just, look for moments, be more in the moment, and you're going to enjoy that moment. You're not going to look ahead and say, well, I better figure this out. Maybe I'll just take a break and let it just happen. That's what I feel you're seeing.
Yes. So for our listeners, Leslie just basically did the reading for me. That's perfectly okay.
You're right on. I think you got it.
You got it. You saw, felt, sensed, and heard what this piece of your soul was telling you. So we need her, though, to do that. You feel it, but in order for this piece of your soul to come back to you, you have to do that work with her because she still feels stuck. In the soul existence reading, there's a piece of your soul that will say is missing or stuck.
Okay.
So yes, it's going to help tremendously if you continue to say to yourself, it's okay to be more in a state of presence. But I also want you to say it to her.
Oh, that's an interesting concept. Okay.
Because she is outside of yourself. Remember, she's the one with her hand in the air saying, I've got a message.
Okay.
So I feel that there's some sort of split, which is how this kind of works. And we'll say at the 30s, when you were on your 30s, a split happened where you said, I've got to be this now.
Right.
This girl soul got stuck right there. Now we need her to come back. We need you to say, hey there, I see you. And here's how I'm going to help now.
Okay. So actually you you speak out to it and you acknowledge it.
We could do that right now if you'd like. We have the time.
Yes, let's do.
Yay, let's do it. So for our listeners, this has happened in a few episodes before. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to either prompt Leslie or she's going to say things, but I'm going to give you the image first and make sure you have it completely so that you can call it up later on and still work with her. Understand?
Yes.
So the images of you, tall, strong, muscular, tight-fitting clothing, because I'm thinking, man, if I swing that, a mallet, a big mallet, right?
A mallet. Yeah.
If I swing that mallet one more time, I may rip my shirt. That's how tight I feel. So tight is symbol for stuck. Tight is a symbol for not being fluid, not being more flexible. Do you understand?
Yes.
So again, she's got the mallet on the ground. She's not even picking it up. It's standing up and she's holding it with her right hand. Right hand, very dominant, very masculine energy. She's saying, I don't want to let this go. I don't want my feminine side to pick it up. I want to pick it up on that masculine side. So first thing I'd like to say is there's green grass. There's a very short stone wall in front of you. Very easily, you could step over it, but for some reason you're on a side of the wall and that's what you're looking at. My interpretation of that is whatever challenge is for you right now to do this work is very small.
Oh, okay.
You have the ability to step right over it.
Okay.
And your feminine side is what we want to get in touch with because feminine, right? More creative, more soft, all of those things, no good, bad, right, or wrong. We want both those sides to come together.
Okay. Is that the left side?
Right side is masculine, left side is feminine. So she's holding the mallet with her right hand, but the heavy part is on the ground.
Okay.
So she's just holding the rod part of it, the stick part of it, which I love that. She's not holding it in the air, at least. That would be like too much.
She's resting somewhat.
She's just somewhat resting. Very good. Very good. That would also say to me that you're in this life, your masculine side is a little bit stronger. Again, no good, bad, right, or wrong. But we want that feminine to come back to us. Do you understand?
Yes.
So do you have a clear enough picture in case you have to go back?
Yes, I do.
Great. All right. So I'm going to start by giving you a little bit of prompts, and I may ask you to repeat or I may ask you to say something.
Okay.
I'm just going to put myself in that image, and I'm going to ask you also to put that image in your head, okay? She's so focused on looking out. We have to gain her attention first. So before we walk up too close to her, we don't want to scare her. Is there something you could say to her? She hears, but she's not looking. So what would you like to say to her to get her attention?
I'm over here.
Good. She hears, but she's not turning her head yet. So we're going to walk a little bit closer. And then I'd like you to say to her, I'm moving closer to you.
I'm moving closer to you.
And it's interesting for me, you're coming in from that masculine side. Do you see that?
I do feel my right side sort of forward, my right side. I mean, moving. Yes, I do feel that.
So we're going to take a moment here and just take yourself, and I'm going to do it in my head also, from where you're walking, because she hasn't turned her head yet. So I'm going to walk behind her, around her, and get over to the left side of her. Do you understand what I'm doing?
Okay. Because she's got her back to me.
Yes. So we can just walk around her. So now we're going to come on her left side because that's what we want, feminine side. So that was nice of her not to look right. She just kept looking forward. So I'm going to ask you to say to her again, I'm here beside you.
I'm here beside you.
I love you.
I love you.
I would like to help balance us.
Oh, I like that. I would like to help balance us.
She's still looking and her shoulders are very tired. Her back is very tired. Do you feel that in this life?
Yes, I do. Some days not as much, but yes, there's that feeling.
So you see how this works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you to walk up a little bit closer to her. She has not turned her head yet, but she definitely has relaxed her shoulders. And I'm going to have you ask her, can you release the mallet?
Can you release the mallet?
And she looks down at the mallet,
Mm-hmm.
not at you. She looks down at the mallet and she, like, for the first time realizes, oh my gosh, I've been holding on to this.
Yeah, probably too tightly too.
Yes. Tell her it's okay to release it.
It's okay to release it, to let it go.
I'm here to balance that out.
I'm here to balance that out.
She's thinking about it. Do you sense her thinking about it?
I do. And maybe she'll turn.
And maybe eventually she will. That's our goal here. Yes. But we don't
Yes.
want to push her, right? We don't want to look to the future. We want to stay in the present with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a piece of you that needs this presence. You understand?
Okay.
She's looking at it. Tell her again, it's okay to release the mallet.
It's okay to release the mallet.
I'm here.
I'm here.
And I thank you for being strong for me all of these years.
And I thank you for being strong for me all of these years.
You've really helped and supported me.
You've really helped and supported me.
But it's time for us now to release this.
But it's time for us now to release this.
She's kind of holding it now with just her fingers instead of the tight grip. It's taken her a bit. Tell her it's okay. I can wait.
It's okay. I can wait.
Take your time.
Take your time.
I'm here and I love you.
No.
We'll wait, Leslie. Go ahead.
Yikes.
Breathe. Nice full breath in and out. It's okay. We're waiting. It's okay, Leslie. Take a nice deep breath. We're pausing with you. We're breathing with you. That piece of you.
Okay, say it again.
That's okay. Take a breath. It's okay. Take a breath. Tears are acceptance. Tears are balancing. Tears are recognition of the piece of you that we're speaking to. And maybe that's why she hasn't looked at us yet.
Could be. Yes.
We'll go backwards a little bit. Tell her, I'm here for you.
I'm here for you.
I've appreciated everything you've done.
I've appreciated everything that you've done.
It's time to let go of the mallet.
It's time to let go of the mallet.
Can you let me help you release it?
Can you let me help you release it?
I love you.
I love you.
You have meant so much to me.
You have meant so much to me.
This process is life-changing for me.
This process is life-changing for me.
I see her just holding it with the tips of her fingers.
She's thinking about it.
She's definitely thinking about it. She's just staring at it. Do you see her looking at you yet?
No, I've got this image of her very lightly holding it. upright, but it's on the ground with a few fingers.
Right. Ask her, I will be here for you when you decide to let go.
I will be here for you when you decide to let go.
I am not leaving you.
I am not leaving you.
I will be here by your side.
I will be here by your side.
You are me.
You are me.
I am you.
And I am you.
We are here to balance each other.
We are here to balance each other.
Boy, she's just playing with it now. She's just playing with it. It's like she's spinning it on the ground. She's tipping it back and forth. I don't know if she's going to drop it yet. Is there anything you'd like to say, Leslie, to, I don't want to say convince her. I just want to say share with her.
I think she's not sure if she can drop it because some situation or people you deeply care about will need you to hold that mallet. So you're ready and prepared.
Deep breath. So it feels like we need to say a few more things to her. I'm going to ask you, but I want to say one more thing to her through you.
Okay.
You will be just as strong with or without the mallet.
Okay. You will be just as strong with or without the mallet.
Her shoulders dropped again. She's contemplating it, though. She's a thinker. She's a thinker, this piece of your soul.
Mm-hmm. Yep, relate to that.
Anything you'd like to say right now?
Just trust in the moment with, the essence of your goodness and belief that things will be as they should be. That will get her to release them out.
Well, number one, I'll say when doing this type of work, you can never say, I love you and I appreciate you. I'm here for you. You can never say that enough.
I love that. I love you and I appreciate you.
And you're not leaving.
And you are not leaving. And I'm not leaving.
I'm standing here beside you. When you release that mallet, I'll be here.
When you release that mallet, I'll be here.
I think we're going to have to leave that at this because it feels there's more that you need to hear, as well as this piece of your soul needs for you to hear it before she lets go.
That makes sense.
I would call that trust. She needs to trust that you will be there. Trust that she will still be strong, even though she's going to drop this mallet. Because she's convinced this is what's holding her up. This is what's holding every piece of her up. So when you do work with this going forward,
okay,
whenever you want to, whenever you feel comfortable doing this, bring the image back into your mind.
All right.
Because it'll never leave you. You remember you told her you're not leaving. So that image will always be there. She's not going to pick the mallet back up. She's right here now, still holding it with her fingertips. And speak to her more. Always beginning with, I told you I wasn't leaving. I love you.
That's great. I can visualize that, thinking of it that way. A piece of myself that is right there and speaking to it deliberately.
That's right.
She's been very present and very strong.
Yeah. Anytime. This doesn't have to happen today. It doesn't happen to happen tomorrow. It's waited. She's waited all of this time. And now that you've got her to this point, you know what you need to tell her and to tell yourself. When doing this sort of work, whether it's inner child or inner adult self, you become the adult. You become the wiser. You become the supportive. You become the trusting one. So you, Leslie, as you stand today, also need to believe that and know that of yourself. Otherwise, she won't.
Very interesting.
Because remember, she's been alone all this time? Who are you to come in now and tell her to drop something that's worked for her for all these years?
Mm-hmm.
So remember, you have to be that strength too, with a balance of both sides.
That's lovely. I can visualize that. Thank you so much. I think it was a really interesting perspective, and I've never had something like this feel so real, I guess. I feel like I can definitely relate and use this image to soften and let that left side come out more. And use it, because actually that's probably just as strong, maybe more so. So thank you.
Just want to bring them both together.
Very interesting. Thank you, Donna.
I'd like to thank my guest today for allowing all of us to join in on their process, their journey. And I'd like to thank you for not only listening, but coming together in a oneness vibration. Thanks again.